Terrific guy. This works in a hospital and gets time off to
Thank you,
do
frame
his
5.
refereeing duties.
Higgins to break.
And John gets the opening frame after the mid-session interval underway. I've noticed with this table, although it's playing beautifully, the break-off shot, the players are finding it very difficult to get where you want the white, where it is now, about another sort of 8 to 10 inches further across, and it seems to be very difficult off the cushion. Sometimes they just skid a little bit off the cushions from the break-off, Ken.
Yeah. More often than not, there's a red left out, but this one, of course, too close to the cushion to have a go at. But quite sure whether this red will pass the pink into the left centre. Obviously, the way John is shaping up, it does. Yeah. Bread and butter, those type of shots under normal circumstances. Now, does the red above the black to the left, does that pot into the bottom right hand corner pocket? This shot may tell us. Just getting something on the cue ball cleaned, but if the red does pot, the one above the black, into the bottom right hand corner pocket, he's going to try and get on those reds and clear up the back, and that's exactly what you'd expect him to do from this brown. Just a forward shot, isn't it, Dennis, off one cushion?
Yeah, just as long as he doesn't hit it too hard and just snooker himself on it. He's got the other red he can take first, of course, so you know, if it comes further up the table, he's on that, but it's the same scenario. Taking this one, he'll then get back to the red that Ken mentioned. Mind, the only thing is, I don't think the black's sitting on its spot, so if he plays for the black here, that red may not be available. There's just a little dot there. Yeah.
6.
The other one will still pot, but the one next to it clearly goes at the moment. So he had to play out for the other red, so
13.
well, I think it still goes anyway, so there was never a problem there.
$14. 21.
Now if he gets, well, he's just got up off the shot. I was going to say if he can cannon the correct red here, he'll leave one at the back of the bunch available. And he's played that beautifully. Yeah, the shot that Stuart played a little bit strange. I don't think he hit it hard enough, Ken. Mind you, if he had it any harder, he could have went in the pocket, but he left that half chance.
Yeah, and it was those type of shots at this level, and just as I said, straightforward, and can't be leaving too many chances. A bit like the previous round, Dennis, where he tried to play that safety shot, hit the yellow, and of course left the red over the right centre. Safety has to be a lot better against He's 4 times world champion. A couple of times he's won the Masters, of course, as well. Bags of experience.
He looks a bit more settled, doesn't he? And only more authoritative around the table.
$38.
He's overcooked that one.
45.
The pink's blocking the path for one, but there's another red that'll go, as you can see, but not sure if he can just avoid the reds to get onto the black. Little cannon might leave him on either pink or black. No.
Thank you. John Higgins, 45.
That was the previous when he screwed back. And this is a terrific chance for Stuart. Although he's 45 behind, that could disappear rapidly.
What? Six. 7. 12.
It's a big pocket, this. This red's unmissable with the other red over the pocket. Really go in direct, but well, you couldn't miss it because of the other red
13.
where it was situated.
$20. 21.
Yeah, it's going to be costly, that miss with the rest. I think he took his eye off the pot here. He was concentrating more on the camp to the red, and that just distracted him somewhat.
$28. 29.
You couldn't place these reds better with your hand.
35.
Perfect.
36.
It's all about composure now.
43. $44.
And from a psychological point of view, Ken, this is going to be a big boost for Stuart. You know, he was sitting in his seat, and I'm sure he
50.
thought John would score enough to win the frame. And all of a sudden,
51.
he's got a terrific chance to get back into the lead.
Yeah, when you win these type of frames, you know, when you're 40, 50, 60 behind and you clear up to win,
58.
it gives you a great boost. What it does as well, it really hurts your opponent.
59.
Bit of work to do just yet. Just come too far for the blue. I have to take the green. Didn't go into the middle of the pocket, that was for sure, but he's okay.
62.
Control the
64.
cue ball nicely, and this is a really good frame for sure, Bingham to win here.
67.
Best frame of the match so far.
Yeah, it's been a good break from Stuart here. A little exhibition shot to try and get on the black, but
82.
he doesn't have to bother about it, but he wants to try and cut it in as well. Well, a little trick shot. There's 6 pockets, it might go in one of them.
82.
But he'd be absolutely delighted there. It's a chance he didn't think he was going to get. John broke down when using the rest, and Stuart cleared up with that fantastic 82 break, and he now leads 3 frames to 2. Long way to go, first to 6, but that's a body blow for John Higgins, it has to be said there, because he looked in complete control, and then he had to get the rest out. He didn't get the white where he intended, and took his eye off the pot here. He was just worried about the cannon to stay on the pink, wasn't he, Ken?
Yeah, he tried to just knock the red in, but you thought he would have sort of stunned it, and he sort of almost threw his cue at it a little bit. It's decelerated on his backswing, and he looked certain to win the frame from that position, but he hasn't looked himself at all. Because at times you thought during that break he looked like he was okay, but every now and again he's just trying a bad miss, and it could be a turning point in the match. I mean, there's still a long way to go, of course, but those type of frames do change matches, don't they, Dennis?
Yeah, even in the best of 11 you can always pick one turning point. People coming back in that didn't get in after the mid-session interval. I mean, it's quite a big crowd here. 2,000 people. They're not allowed in once the frame starts.
It really is a magnificent arena for snooker, isn't it?
Thank you, frame 6.
As you said,
Stuart Bingham to break.
Put an extra 450 seats to bring it up to the 2,000 capacity, and great atmosphere.
Well, Stuart managed to get the white over there behind the yellow, but he's left a possible long pot for John, and well, this would really boost his confidence if he could pull this off.
Well, look where the red's finished. You never expect the red to go all the way up to the table. This cue ball has come far enough up for sure to take this into the corner. He'll be going into the pack of reds. No.
It's amazing, Ken. He's full of confidence. He's knocked an 82 break in. He's forgot about the red over the pocket. He thought, I'm queuing well again. I'll open the reds. I'll take this on. And then he throws that one in. It's a strange game, I'll tell you.
One. Six. Seven. $14. 15. $22. $23.
I know this I find hard to believe. John has won this tournament twice, but he's played
28.
here 22 times, and on 11 of the occasions he's gone out in the first round. That's incredible, isn't it? Shows you how tough this Masters is.
I wouldn't expect that.
29.
And one of the worst things in the game, isn't it, Ken, when you open the reds up
34.
and you miss a shot and you've got to go back and watch your opponent knock all balls in that you should have been knocking in.
Man, how nicely he had
35.
split the reds as well.
$40. Thank you.
So he's still one red to go at here. And he's perfect on
41.
the brown. Oh, well, just every now and again he's thrown
John Higgins,
one
41.
of those shots in. It's hard to believe. And considering a couple of days ago he couldn't miss. I mean, he made 3 centuries, should have made 4 when he beat Liang Wenbo.
Do you remember about 3 or 4 seasons ago that he was doing that all the time? He looked good, and then all of a sudden he's a sitter. But he'd eradicated that from his game. And you're looking at one of the most consistent players, you know, besides Neil Robertson. He's won 2 ranking events already this season. I mean, the winner of this match will play tomorrow evening against Ronnie O'Sullivan.
8.
I don't think that will be on their mind. It's just to, you know, get past this one. You just play one match at a time.
Needs one good cannon on the reds here. That's nicely played. Knew exactly where hitting that red. The top red was
16.
going towards the left-hand centre pocket.
17.
The fact that the brown's off its spot just makes this shot a little bit easier because he has to go in and out of bulk with the blue.
Well,
22.
as Ken mentioned, there's a wide area to get round the table with the brown not being on its spot, and finished up catching the yellow.
Stuart Bingham, 22.
He's had a bit of a result here. It looked like that red was going to cannon into the triangle of reds, and it double kissed the white and has gone perfectly safe. Well, let's have a look what he can see. Not very much. Just nestling into them by the looks of things. It was just as if you were watching a game of bowls there, the way that white came up. Yeah, it comes again. Yeah, I think you were watching a bowls match. Used to love the old bowls. In fact, they had remember they had a pro celebrity who played with Tony Alcock, I think it was, yeah. He was a world champion and thoroughly enjoyed it. Have you ever played it, Cam?
No, never played it, Dennis, no.
Bingham, 1.
Well, as you used to say in the club when you played a shot like that, pick the bones out of that.
Not very friendly. Okay, Dennis, time to get those lines out. This is a tough one.
Well, he can swerve it and make an angle to get them in the middle of the table. He's left it. Well, I say he's left it now that it's tight on the cushion. Stuart's got a decision to make. He doesn't like it, so he's putting it back.
The only problem about trying to hit this red, if he catches a full ball, he's going to be knocking it towards the left-hand corner pocket.
Yeah, it's not a direct line. I'll just put the line up, but to get to that first to the right of the green, he's got to swerve around the pink so that he can then send it off the cushion with lots of side. In fact, it's making it more difficult for John, but he knows exactly where it was. You see, the more it goes, the tougher it is.
Can you check that with Hawkeye? Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to see that. They're just saying because the more it goes to the left, the tougher it is, and John knows exactly where it was. So.
To you?
I mean, it's very difficult to get it exactly where it was. We can show you. Well, that looks pretty good, but John was making it more difficult for himself. He said to Stuart, "Is it okay? I'll play it from here?" But he's still got to swerve around the pink to get the angle.
Great shot. Superb. Have to make a connection of almost a quarter of a ball, but couldn't have played better. Well played.
That's a bit of a result to finish right in front of the brand. That's almost as good as a snooker. Very awkward queuing here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, this is a thin one. I don't think he can cut that red in. That's why he's refusing it. It's just much too thin. think, Ken? Can he clip this? Not that one, the other one. Can he clip that one into the right corner pocket?
Well, he'll certainly have a go, won't he? Because cue ball will be coming back down this end of the table, but he also has that yellow over the left centre should the red go in.
We could finish up with all these 4 reds up the other end of the table. And then all of a sudden, well, it is at the moment the safety areas behind the black and close to the cushion.
Just wondering, Dennis, is there any value with maybe taking this red on into the right centre? He'll be pushing the other red towards the cushion, so that'll be safe. And John can't pot any of the balls in balk. So maybe with the value of the yellow being over the middle, you could play this as a shot to nothing almost.
It's a tough angle though. Well, he's looked at this one. Surely it can't go between the brown and green because it's a big pocket. No, it won't. Well, if you were in behind it, it would be a little bit easier than from where he is. Now, where's the cue ball? He's okay. He had an anxious look. If that had have dropped in the pocket, could have been end of frame. That was a little beauty he pulled out there. 15 in front. Let me show you the shot again. Required excellent cueing. And just got to make sure he finds a gap, not snooker himself on that red. And the 2 reds, the right side of the table,
6.
they're on for the left corner pocket. So he needs a good angle and a colour to drop in behind those 2.
Seven.
Now, if he could get over into the circle, that would be ideal. He may have to leave it for the middle pocket. Yeah, he can screw back and leave that red that Ken mentioned a couple of shots ago. Needs to come back a little bit further though. And it hasn't.
9.
Just playing the snooker in behind. If he could land on the pink, he'd be guaranteed a snooker. Or has he changed his mind and taken the double? Yeah, it's the double. A treble will do. He was going to get
9.
down and play the snooker there and then decided I'll have a go at the double.
Yeah, it was a big target, wasn't it, up behind the green? A chance for Stuart. As you see the double again, almost a treble.
pretty good, that, because there's no path round to try and swing it round behind those bulk colours and the pink there. Well, he's played a thin one, and that's a pretty good effort. So the player that can drop in behind one of those colours will gain a big advantage. Well, there's a different way of playing a safety shot. Both players having a good...
I'm surprised you didn't spot that one, Dennis.
I think he can see enough of this red to clip it off the right side as we look at it, yeah. And he might be able to have a go at the pot, and it's a sort of a free shot because the white will automatically come down towards those colours again. So it'd be a bonus if he could snick this in, but I think he'll get a good cue ball. And there's the bonus. And he's a bit unlucky because he can pot the brown, but he can't avoid the cannon on the yellow, and somehow he's got to get round to the left of the black and red. Can he miss?
Yeah.
Wow, yeah,
Yellow ball.
He can't get round, so just playing the snooker. And it's not a bad snooker, I can tell you.
Stuart Bingham 1.
I don't know if he can swerve it enough this time to miss the middle pocket, and yeah, he's raising the butt of the cue, trying to swerve around and miss the middle pocket and get to the red. Oh, that's the black.
Foul. And a miss. Stuart Bingham 7.
Stuart coming round to see if he fancies the pot. Another turning point in this match, because the colours are all available. What's he, 15 behind?
Yeah, he doesn't have to do much. You know, the cue ball is going up towards the blue. If you just drop this red in, it may be worth just taking this on. Okay, cue ball and red are a little bit close to each other, but you can play it nice and softly, give the red a chance to go into the pocket. Yeah, and it's well worth taking on now. He needs a good bounce off this ball cushion.
And see if he takes the pink and screws back, he's kissing the green, and if he takes the green, he's going to cannon the brown, so it's not straightforward. It couldn't have finished much more difficult than this. Now if he screws back when potting, he's got to make sure he gets plenty on it, because he'll definitely cannon the green.
Just wondering if you could flick enough side on it, Dennison. Enough left-hand side when he pots this pink. Just try and almost switch it. No, he couldn't avoid the green.
Well, he's just settled to get back in behind the green and brown here.
7.
I mean, the yellow would pop, but there's no value in it. You'd be better off in the snooker.
Stuart Bingham 7.
Well, this is pretty easy to hit, but can he get it safe?
Stuart Bingham 4.
That could be costly. One good shot here, and it's a natural to come back up. He's got such a margin for error to finish on the green, anywhere up past the blue. And as I said, the balls could have went anywhere from that position, but he didn't expect that. Anywhere up past the blue, and he was always going to have an easy green. Going to give John Higgins something to think about this, Ken.
Yeah, another frame he should have won early on.
5.
He stole the last frame, Stuart Bingham. One good positional shot from brown to blue, and he's going to win this frame as well.
9.
Well, he's come far enough that it's straightforward in and out of ball, but it's just the pace of the cue ball you've got to watch here. There's the pace. Looks pretty good. 10 points ahead, just a pink required for a 4-2 lead. And in it goes. And for the first time in this match, a player has taken a 2-frame gap, and it's Stuart Bingham now, the world champion, who leads 4 frames to 2.
Well, another important frame, and John looked to be up and running again. He was going along very nicely, and then all of a sudden he's missed a brown off the spot. You know, this was just concentration that caused him to miss this. There was a red available to the left of the bunch. It didn't detect a heavy contact. That was just a poor shot from John, and it did sort of prove costly, because I thought he was going to go on and take the frame from there, Ken.
Yeah, well, you'd expect to, but every now and again throughout this match, and from the very first frame, he's just missed totally unexpectedly.
I think there's a lot left to come from John, though. He's one of those players, if he gets on a run here, he could make a couple of century breaks back all square.
Well, he's done it many times in the past, and that's what they're playing for. That wonderful Waterford Crystal trophy.
That would look lovely on the bonnet of your car, that, wouldn't it, Ken?
You'd need a lot of super glue to stick it there, in all fairness, wouldn't you? It's quite heavy, that trophy.
How would you know that?
This is about as close as I've come to.
Thank you, John. Thank you. Frame 7. John Higgins to break.
And John gets the 7th frame underway, and it's time to go back to work for the Wizard of Wishaw, as he's introduced as, a nickname he's had for quite a number of years. He certainly waved that magic wand on a number of occasions. He could do with it now to get back into this, because if he loses this and drops 5-2 behind, you wouldn't give him a great deal of chance. But a lot of balls to be potted before we get to that stage. Just one of these reds pot here, the one to the right of the black. The fact that he hit that a bit thinner than he intended was the reason the whites come so far off the cushion. It's an early chance for John.
One. Eight. Nine. 12.
Well, has he gone too far? Body language suggests he hasn't. Again, what an error from John Higgins.
He had such a margin for error anywhere around that circle, and he'd got anywhere between the blue and pink, and he was okay. But I think when you're not on the top of your game on these very fast clocks, it's so easy to let that happen, isn't it? To lose the white a little.
Mm. Yeah, it's happened too frequently tonight for him, has to be said. Try and swing the cue ball around 4 cushions behind the brown if you can. Well, he's just come off 2 cushions. Still okay. A lot easier to get behind the brown, wasn't it? 4 cushions, big target there. Now, what sort of gap has he got?
Yeah, that read the right side of the tables, causing the problem of the escape route. And can't see the reds to get down the other side of the table. Now, what has he spotted here? Wow. Because he's got no easy safety shot, he's going to have a go at the plant. Now, just keep an eye on where the cue ball goes. Oh, just a straightforward safety shot in the end. How did he get down through those? He was in quite a hole there. Couldn't see an easy safety. Thought, well, I might as well have a go at the risky plant.
Six. Nicely controlled shot. Just came a little bit too far. Wanted to be a bit straighter on this red, just to the right of the pink.
Seven.
I really love to try and get that black back on its spot at some stage. Just the right side of the blue.
Made lots of reverse side on that. When it hit the cushion, you could see it spin off towards the reds. Right of center to create that backspin. He hasn't got the white into ideal position. He's just struggling along to get one good shot and then make things a lot easier for himself.
$19.
And let's see if he can get plumb on the red this time. Can maybe play for the black.
24. Thank you.
Doesn't want to
25.
be dead straight on this black. If he is, he'll take the pink. Pink much easier from that position. Now is it going on to the black spot? I'm not sure if there's enough room. There might be. No, it's going on the black
31.
spot, so he'll concentrate now.
$32.
Yeah, overshot the cue ball again. We're certainly having to work for this break. All right, back in. Well, I said he was going to be back in prime position, but just a little bit hampered.
$38.
Taking his time, composing himself. This is a massive frame for Stuart Bingham.
Doing the right thing, not rushing things, just getting his mind clear before he plays the shot. He knows the importance of this frame. They've played 10 times, but they've only played once in the Masters. That was a couple of seasons ago, and John won 6-2 on that occasion. And he's won
44.
8 times against Stuart's 2 victories.
Thank you. Sure. 35.
I think he's got a slight angle on the blue, so he should be okay.
$50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50. 50.
Almost at the point of no return in this frame. 38 points to lead.
51.
There's another couple of reds and high valued colours.
59.
He's definitely playing much better in this match
64.
than he did against Ding Junhui. He's missed a few, but he's been pretty confident. On the big stage here, it's nice if you're a world champion to show everyone, you know, why you are world champion. Oh, the cannon on the yellow just spoiled from getting onto the red, but he's 58 in front, as you
70.
can see, with just 43. John will stay in his seat, I should imagine. Yep, he signals to the referee, and Stuart Bingham goes another frame ahead, and now he's just 1 frame away from victory. He leads John Higgins by 5 frames to 2. Just a few errors have crept in this evening, and that's the reason that John is behind. But he was in a terrible situation there. He thought long and hard. He couldn't see an easy safety shot because of that red, the right side of the table. And in the end, Ken, he thought, well, I might as well take the plant on. I've no idea where the cue ball's going. But you've got to get that plant when you risk it. And it wasn't easy.
Yeah, it wasn't easy. It was sort of hit it and hope more than anything. But I thought it was the only way out, but the fact that the red came across, kissed the black and left it over the left-hand corner pocket. But it was a tough plan to take on. He had already got a couple of plants earlier in the match, but just that time was just pushing the boat out just a little bit too much. But he hasn't looked himself at all right from the very first frame, and I don't know whether he was feeling too well. I saw him blinking his eyes and holding his head in his hands, and there you see it again. It looks, just doesn't look himself for some reason tonight.
Yeah, Hazel was saying earlier, wasn't she, that you had a good chat with him at breakfast, and he was fine, but you know, there's a long time between breakfast and the evening session. Be interesting to see whether he wins or loses, what he says in his press conference.
Thank you. Thank you. Frame 8. Stuart Bingham to break.
Well, not the best. And an early chance for Stuart Bingham. Very uncharacteristic, that, from John. Oh, what a nudge he's had there. All of a sudden, you know, he's cannoned the black. The blacks hit the red and pink, and it couldn't have finished better. What an early chance this is. And it's usually the way, Ken, when you start playing well, you get the run of the ball, don't you?
Yeah. It tends to follow you. Now just have a look at this. A kiss on the black, into the pack, and just passes the pink on the left centre.
9.
And here's the error from John Higgins. Safety shot that went to right. Well, it's a wonderful angle on this red now. Going into the pack of reds and trying to stay on the black.
Well, whichever way he plays it, whether he screws back or pushes the cue through, he's got to make sure he gets out of the bunch there and keep your eye on the pot. Don't take your concentration off that. And he did. Can you believe it?
Stuart Bingham.
He may just have got away with this. If this red doesn't go up into the corner, he just took his eye off the pot. And he's known as Stuart. He's nicknamed Stuart Ball Run Bingham. Has he got away with it this time? Well, that indicates that he does get a good run of the ball, but this may just go past the other red. Well, Stuart didn't get away with it that time. It was a cracking pot that John pulled out. Well, if anyone could win a match from 5-2 behind as we show you this terrific long red, it's John Higgins. There's one thing for certain. He'll never ever give up, that's for sure. The noise from the crowd as the red went towards the pocket.
$50.
I'll tell you what, he didn't hit that well. I don't know if it kicked or not, but it didn't go in the center of the pocket. Have a look at this. Just wobbled a couple of times. And that's why he hasn't finished as nicely on the red. Had he have potted the pink cleanly.
Thank you. 21. $22. $27.
Well, he missed a red like this in the opposite pocket earlier in the match, and this is no gimme. Oh, played it well, played it very well. Excellent shot. Nice angle on the black.
$35. $36.
Very nicely controlled. Brought 4 reds into play from that shot.
There's just something about the very top players in the game when their back's against the wall, not that it's against the wall that many times, they have an inner strength that seems to kick in, and all of a sudden they start playing really well.
$41.
Yes, and as you said, Dennis, is ever a man to make a comeback. He's done it numerous of times. I'm sure Bingham will know that. He'll be well aware that
48.
when his chance comes, he's got to take it. And he had a chance there and didn't. It may cost him the frame.
Yeah,
49.
John's highest break in this match is a break of 60. When you think against Liang Wenbo, he made 3 centuries.
$56. $57. Sure. 62.
Just this red and the black would be enough to leave Stuart at the snooker's required stage. So it's the start of the comeback, and doing it in style with 1 visit.
Thank you. $63. $70.
Crowd acknowledged that was frame ball. Now, question, can he go on and
Thank you.
make a nice century?
71.
He's made a few of them, hasn't he? 607. I think Ronnie's gone past the 800
78.
century mark, which is quite astonishing. Stephen Hendry's made 750, I think it is, just over 750
86.
centuries.
$87.
Well, under the circumstances, this has been a wonderful break. Particularly take the fact that he's 5-2 behind. And that's the thing about John Higgins. When he's behind or in front, he doesn't look any different.
93.
This is the first time he's
95.
a really good frame together.
$98.
Wonderful century break from John Higgins. 608 is then a set of his career, and when he's on this form,
107.
he's the quintessential snooker player, you'd have to agree, but he has it all to do.
130.
That's the first ring on the ladder. This has been top quality. Great break from John Higgins, 120. But Stuart Bingham still leads by 5 frames to 3.
Yeah, both players leaving the arena, and that was the 20th century in this year's Masters. That's some, and both players have gone out of the arena, so we'll leave you some stats just to see how this match has been progressing. There you go, feast your eyes on that little lot.